Okay, so in our last lecture, we have completed So in our last lecture, we have completed simple air cooling system. After that, simple air evaporative cooling system, and we have seen the TS diagram for simple air cooling system as well as simple air evaporative cooling system also. So we are knowing the application of simple air cooling or simple air evaporative cooling system. So for aeroplane which are having very low speed, for them we are using that simple air cooling system or simple air evaporative cooling system. So now next type of air cooling system is nothing but the bootstrap air cooling system. So this is the diagram for bootstrap air cooling system. So strength 18 students have only joined. Okay. So this bootstrap air cooling system is also modification in the simple air cooling system. So what modification we are going to do in that bootstrap air cooling system? So up to this point, I will show. Up to this point, the simple air cooling system will be as it is. Only there will be the addition of this much part. There will be the addition of this much part. That means here, if you are going to remove this much part, that means whatever outlet of this first heat exchanger will be there. If I'm going to give directly to the cooling turbine, then that will become as the simple air cooling system. So what exactly we are doing in this bootstrap air cooling system? We are booting this pressure. Booting the pressure means instead of increasing the pressure in the one stroke, we are increasing the pressure at the two stroke or by using the two compressor. So by multi-pressure compression or by using multi-pressure compression system, we are knowing that we are able to reduce the work supplied to the compressor. So to increase the efficiency of that air cooling system, instead of single compression, we are going to use the second compressor, or we are using the two compressor. So this will be our first compressor that will be called as a main compressor, and this will be our second compressor. So what we are doing, instead of increasing the pressure from directly from PR to PD, increasing pressure directly from PR to PD. So here, if I will draw the diagram of PV diagram, suppose this is a pressure PV diagram. So instead of increasing the pressure from point 1 or from P1 directly up to the PD, delivery pressure PD. So here, if that will be the polytropic or isentropic process, that process will be drawn likewise, 1 to 2. 1 to 2 process will be drawn likewise. But here, what exactly we are doing? Instead of this, what we are doing? We are increasing the pressure up to intermediate pressure. Up to intermediate pressure, that means PD1, up to PD1, and here whatever compressed air will be there up to PD1, that will be cooled with the help of heat exchanger, with the help of this heat exchanger, and after that we are increasing the pressure from PD1 to PD2 in the second compressor. So here whatever work supplied will be there. So because of using the second two compressor instead of one compressor, here work supplied to the compressor is going to save. That means this much will be the saving of work. This much, this shaded portion is nothing but, because area under PV diagram, we are with the help of area under PV diagram, we are able to get the work supplied to the compressor. So here, because of using single compressor, sorry, because of using two compressor instead of single compressor for the same purpose. That means our purpose is to increase the pressure from ram pressure, to the delivery pressure, But here we are increasing the pressure from ram pressure to delivery pressure instead of using single compressor, by we are using the double compressor or two compressor, and because of the same, this much amount of work will be saved. So that will be the main purpose of using the bootstrap air cooling system. So here bootstrap means booting the pressure, that means increasing the pressure. So here I will show the diagram. So this will be the schematic or line diagram for bootstrap air cooling system. So this will be similar to that simple air cooling system, only there will be the addition of secondary compressor and secondary heat exchanger. So these two devices will be added. These two devices, secondary compressor and secondary heat exchanger or second heat exchanger, these two devices only will be added in the simple air cooling system to have that system called as the bootstrap air cooling system. So now how this system will work for that purpose? Here at the higher altitude, whatever ambient air will be there, so that ambient air will have the pressure as a PA and temperature as a T1. So that will be considered as a point number 1. So similar to the simple air cooling system, that ambient air will be taken inside of the aeroplane. So that air will come inside of the aeroplane because of the ramming effect. So whatever 1 to 2 process will be there, that 1 to 2 process will be called as the isentropic ramming process. That will be the ideal if that process will be the ideal, that will be considered as the isentropic ramming, but actually that will be the polytropic ramming process. So 1 to 2 process is nothing but ramming process, and in that ramming process, pressure of the ambient air will increase from ambient pressure to the ram pressure, ambient pressure to ram pressure, and temperature of air will increase from T1 to T2. Now, whatever ram air will be there inside of the aeroplane, so part of that ram air will be compressed. Part of that ram air will be compressed inside the main compressor. So whatever that 2 to 3 process will be there, that 2 to 3 process will be called as the compression process inside the main compressor. And because of compressing that ram air inside the main compressor, here pressure of that air will goes on increasing from ram pressure to the PD1, and temperature of that air will also increase from T2 to T3, T2 to T3. Now here at the outlet of main compressor, we will have the compressed air. So part of that compressed air will be taken or will be supplied to the combustion chamber, where that air fuel mixture will get burned, and that exhaust gases or burnt gases will be supplied to the gas turbine to run that gas turbine, and whatever power will be obtained from that gas turbine, that will be utilized to run the main compressor. So this is similar to the previous case. Now whatever remaining part of or remaining portion of compressed air will be there, which is having the point number 3, which is having the condition as a delivery pressure 1 and temperature T3, that will be supplied to the first heat exchanger. Now that compressed air will be passed through the first heat exchanger. Now here first heat exchanger or the air is having the condition as a delivery pressure as a PD1, temperature as a T3. Now here inside the first heat exchanger, constant pressure heat rejection process will take place. And to have a cooling medium, we are using the portion of ram air. So whatever remaining portion of ram air will be there, that ram air will be utilized as a cooling medium. So here part of ram air will be supplied. Part of ram air will be supplied over this coil through this first heat exchanger. And as that ram air is having the temperature lower than the compressed air temperature, that means here value of T2 is lower as compared to value of T3. That's why here compressed air will reject some amount of heat. Compressed air will reject some amount of heat to that ram air at a constant pressure. So here whatever 3 to 4 process will be there, that 3 to 4 process will occur inside the first heat exchanger. And process 3 to 4 is nothing but constant pressure heat rejection process. Constant pressure heat rejection process. And because of this constant pressure heat rejection inside the first heat exchanger, here pressure of the air at the outlet of first heat exchanger will be same. That pressure will be PD1 itself. Only there will be the drop in temperature. So here temperature will drop from T3 to T4. या ठिकाणी काय होणार आहे, टेम्परेचर 3 to 4 प्रोसेस कशामध्ये होणार आहे, फर्स्ट हीट एक्सचेंजर मध्ये होणार आहे. आणि फर्स्ट हीट एक्सचेंजर मध्ये कोणती प्रोसेस होणार आहे, कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर हीट रिजेक्शनची प्रोसेस होणार आहे. कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर हीट रिजेक्शनची प्रोसेस होणार आहे. and because of that constant pressure heat rejection process, here pressure of the air will remain same during process 3 to 4. Pressure will be same, that is nothing but PD1. Only temperature will drop from T3 to T4. Only temperature will drop from T3 to T4. Now whatever outlet of first heat exchanger will be there, outlet of first heat exchanger, that will be supplied to the secondary compressor. Here we are having the secondary compressor. Outlet of first heat exchanger will be supplied to the secondary compressor, and inside the secondary compressor again the compression process will take place, and here inside the secondary compressor, that means whatever 4 to 5 process will be there, 4 to 5 process will occur inside the secondary compressor, and inside the secondary compressor what will happen, pressure will increase from delivery pressure 1 to the final delivery pressure, that is nothing but PD2. So here pressure will increase from PD1 to PD2. At the same time, because of compression, temperature of that air will also increase from T4 to T5. Temperature of air will also increase from T4 to T5. So here inside the secondary compressor, compression process will take place, and because of compression, pressure will increase from PD1 to PD2, and temperature will increase from T4 to T5. Now here outlet of secondary compressor will be the point number 5, which is having the condition as a PD2 pressure and T5 temperature. Now that air will be supplied to the secondary heat exchanger. या ठिकाणी फक्त ऍडिशन काय केलेली आपण बुटस्ट्रॅप मध्ये, सिंपल मध्ये फक्त एकच कॉम्प्रेसर होता, त्या ठिकाणी 2 कॉम्प्रेसर यूज केले. सिंपल एअर कूलिंग मध्ये फक्त एकच हीट एक्सचेंजर होता, त्या ठिकाणी 2 हीट एक्सचेंजर यूज केलेले. Now outlet of secondary compressor is supplied to the secondary heat exchanger. So here through that secondary heat exchanger, the air which is having the pressure as a PD2 and temperature as a T5 will pass, and over this heat exchanger or over the coil of this heat exchanger, again as a cooling medium, we are supplying the ram air. त्या ठिकाणची जी काय ram air होती, part of ram air will be supplied as a cooling medium over the secondary heat exchanger or over the second heat exchanger. So here in this second heat exchanger also, whatever process will be carried out, that will be again constant pressure heat rejection process. त्या ठिकाणी पण काय होणार आहे, constant pressure heat rejection ची प्रोसेस होणार आहे. So constant pressure heat rejection process will take place inside the secondary heat exchanger, and because of the same, here at the outlet of second heat exchanger, pressure will be same. इनलेटला काय होतं, PD2 होतं, आउटलेटला पण काय राहणार आहे, PD2 राहणार आहे. Only there will be drop in temperature. So temperature will drop from T5 to T6. Temperature will drop from T5 to T6, and whatever outlet of secondary heat exchanger will be there, that will be supplied to the cooling turbine. And inside of the cooling turbine, pressure of the compressed air will decrease from PD2 to the cabin pressure. Pressure of the air will decrease from PD2 to the cabin pressure. At the same time, temperature of the air will also decrease from T6 to T7. And whatever outlet of cooling turbine will be there, that air will be supplied to the aeroplane cabin. And whatever 7 to 8 process will be there, that 7 to 8 process will be taking place inside the aeroplane cabin, and that process will be the constant pressure heat absorption process. Inside the aeroplane cabin. Now here, as we are knowing that cooling turbine is a work producing device, so whatever work will be produced by that cooling turbine, that will be utilized to run the secondary compressor. In simple air cooling system, whatever work produced from cooling turbine was there, that was utilized to run the exhaust fan, which was drawing more and more amount of ram air from the heat exchanger. But here whatever work produced from cooling turbine will be there, that will be utilized to run the secondary compressor. So this will be called as a bootstrap air cooling system. Now here, if I want to draw the PV and TS diagram, if I want to draw the TS diagram for that bootstrap air cooling system, then here I'm going to take the pressure on the y-axis, not pressure, TS diagram I have to draw. I'm going to draw the temperature on the y-axis and entropy on the x-axis. Now first of all, I have to represent the point number 1. Point number 1 is having the pressure as a ambient pressure and temperature as a T1. So first of all, I need to draw the ambient air line. So here number of lines will be there. Out of that, first line will be the ambient pressure line. So here I will draw the ambient pressure line. I will use the another color. Okay, I'll use this color. Suppose this is the ambient pressure line. So on that ambient pressure line, we will have the point number 1, which is having the temperature as a T1. So suppose this is my point number 1. So now 1 to 2 process is called as a ramming process. 1 to 2 process is called as a ramming process. And in that ramming process, pressure of the air will increase from ambient pressure to the ram pressure. Ambient pressure to the ram pressure. That means one more pressure line will be there. That will be called as a ram pressure line. Why I am drawing that pressure line likewise? Because this is the TS diagram, and the nature of constant pressure line on the TS diagram will be likewise. So here one more pressure line will be there. That will be called as a ram pressure. So suppose this is a ram pressure line. So in that ram pressure, there will be again two pressure. First one will be called as the ideal ram pressure, and second one will be called as the actual ram pressure. So if this process 1 to 2 will takes place because without occurrence of friction, that means if this process will be the isentropic process, that means reversible adiabatic process, then that might be shown likewise 1 to 2 process. So this 1 to 2 process called as a isentropic compression or isentropic ramming process. But in actual practice, whenever that ambient air will be coming inside of the aeroplane, there will be the friction, and because of that friction, that process will not be the reversible process. So that process will be the irreversible process. So in that case, that process will not be the isentropic. Instead of isentropic, that will be the polytropic process. So in that case, I have to consider one more pressure line that will be called as the actual ram pressure line. So value of actual ram pressure will be lower. Value of actual ram pressure will be lower as compared to ideal ram pressure, and that process will be the irreversible process. So here I have to draw that actual ramming process. So actual ramming process will be likewise. Here while drawing this actual ramming process, whatever point number 2 dash I have to take, I have to keep in mind that the temperature of 2 and 2 dash point should be same. Temperature of 2 and 2 dash point should be same. So here 1 to 2 dash is nothing but the 1 to 2 dash is nothing but the actual ramming process. 1 to 2 is nothing but the ideal ramming process. Now here 2 to 3 process is occurring inside the main compressor. So inside the main compressor, what is happening? Isentropic compression is taking place. So here pressure is increasing from PR1 to the delivery pressure 1. So one more pressure line will be there. So that pressure line will be called as a delivery pressure 1 line. So here one more pressure line will be there. So that will be called as a delivery pressure 1. So here from point number 2, that means ram air will be compressed inside the main compressor, and here pressure will increase from ram pressure to the delivery pressure 1. And if that process will be the isentropic, then that will be shown likewise 2 dash to 3 dash. This process will be shown likewise, that is nothing but 2 dash to 3 dash. Sorry, 2 dash to 3 point. But here this 2 dash to 3 line is indicating the isentropic compression, but as that compressor is consisting of number of moving parts, that will not be the isentropic, that will be the polytropic process. So actual polytropic process will be shown likewise. So here one more point will be there, that will be called as the point number 3 dash. So here 2 dash to 3 dash is indicating the 2 dash to 3 dash is indicating the actual compression inside the main compressor. Now, whatever outlet of main compressor will be there, point number 3. So part of that outlet of main compressor will be supplied to the combustion chamber to run the gas turbine, or in terms to run the main compressor. So we are not going to bother about this. So we have to consider the process where we are cooling the air. So here outlet of this main compressor will be supplied to the first heat exchanger. Now what will happen inside the first heat exchanger? That compressed air will pass through this coil, and above that coil or over that coil there will be the ram air. So here because of the same, as that ram air is having the lower temperature as compared to compressed air, so at a constant pressure heat rejection process will take place. So here constant pressure heat rejection process I need to draw, but before that I will show this process with the help of another color. This was my point number 1. 1 to 2 process was likewise. This is my point number 2. This is ideal ramming process, but actually that ramming process will be likewise. This will be my point number 2 dash. Here I have to take I have to consider that 2 is equal to, or temperature of 2 point is equal to temperature of 2 dash point. Then 2 dash to 3 process is occurring inside the main compressor. That is nothing but isentropic compression, and 2 dash to 3 dash process that is occurring inside the that is nothing but the actual compression process, polytropic 3 dash. Now whatever 3 to 4 process will be there, that 3 to 4 process will occur inside the first heat exchanger. And what will happen inside the first heat exchanger? PD1 will remain as a PD1. Only there will be the drop in temperature. Constant pressure heat rejection process will be there. So here temperature will decrease from T3 to T4. So constant pressure heat rejection process. So from point number 3 dash, I have to draw constant pressure heat rejection process. So that 3 dash to 4 process will be likewise. So this will be called as a constant pressure heat rejection process inside the first heat exchanger. Constant pressure heat rejection process inside the first heat exchanger. Now whatever outlet of first heat exchanger will be there, that will be supplied to the secondary compressor. Inside the secondary compressor, pressure will increase from PD1 to PD2. That means one more pressure line will be there. That will be called as a PD2. So I will draw one more pressure line called as a PD2. Suppose this has a PD2 pressure line. This has a PD2 pressure line. So here inside the secondary compressor, again isentropic compression will take place. So here 4 to 5 process will occur inside the secondary compressor, where pressure will increase from PD1 to PD2. So this is the PD2 pressure. Pressure will increase from PD1 to PD2. So if this process will be the irreversible process, then that will be considered as an isentropic compression inside the secondary compressor. But as that compressor is consisting of number of moving parts, so that will not be the isentropic, that will be the polytropic process. So polytropic process will be shown by 5 to 5 dash. 5 to 5 dash. So here pressure is increased. Pressure is increased from PD1 to PD2. Now whatever outlet of secondary compressor will be there, that will be supplied. Outlet of secondary compressor will be supplied to the secondary or second heat exchanger. So here again inside that second heat exchanger, constant pressure heat rejection process will take place. Constant pressure heat rejection process will take place. Here again the cooling medium will be the ram air itself. Cooling medium is a ram air itself. So constant pressure heat rejection process will take place inside the second heat exchanger, and because of the same, here pressure at the outlet of second heat exchanger will be same, PD2. Only temperature will goes on falling, or so here temperature will goes on decreasing. So T5 and T6. So here I will get somewhere here I will get the point number 6. So here this process is nothing but constant pressure heat rejection. Constant pressure heat rejection inside the second heat exchanger. Inside the second heat exchanger. So here I will get the point number 6 as a this point. Now here point number 6 will be supplied to the cooling turbine. Outlet of second heat exchanger. Outlet of second heat exchanger will be supplied to the cooling turbine. So point number 6 will be the entry point to the cooling turbine, and inside the cooling turbine, what will happen? Expansion of air will take place, and here air will get expand. Air will get expand from PD2 pressure up to the cabin pressure. So next pressure line is nothing but the cabin pressure line. Next pressure line. Wait for 1 minute. Whether my voice is audible? Yes or no? So next pressure line will be the cabin pressure line. So one more pressure line I need to draw, that will be called as a cabin pressure line. One more pressure line I need to draw, that will be called as a cabin pressure line. And at higher altitude, we are knowing that value of cabin pressure will be greater than the ambient pressure and less than the ram pressure. So one more pressure line I have to draw. Suppose this has a cabin pressure line. This has a cabin pressure line. So now 6 to 7 process. 6 to 7 process will occur inside the cooling turbine, where pressure will reduce, where pressure of air will reduce from PD2 to cabin pressure, and this will be considered as a isentropic. In ideal condition, that will be considered as a isentropic expansion process. So entropy will remain same. So here 6 to 7 process will be likewise, but as that cooling turbine is consisting of number of moving parts, so that will not be the isentropic process. Actually that process will be the polytropic. So that polytropic process will be shown likewise 6 to 7 or 6 to 7 dash. Now here whatever outlet of cooling turbine will be there, here they have written air to the cabin. So outlet of cooling turbine that will be supplied to the aeroplane cabin, that will be supplied to the aeroplane cabin, and that air will have the ability to absorb the heat, which is being generated because of number of internal and external parameter. So here whatever outlet to that cooling turbine will be there, that air will be supplied to the aeroplane cabin, and that air will be able to absorb the heat inside the aeroplane cabin at the constant cabin pressure. So here heat absorption, actual heat absorption process will take place inside the aeroplane cabin. So this will be the TS diagram for bootstrap air cooling system. Are you getting? So this is the TS diagram for bootstrap air cooling system. So have you understood the explanation of line diagram as well as TS diagram for bootstrap air cooling system? So write in the chat box, have you understood? Or if you are having any query or any question related to this bootstrap air cooling system, you can ask me. You can unmute yourself and you can ask the question or any query. Do it fast. Otherwise, if you understood this concept, bootstrap air cooling system, line diagram as well as TS diagram, so write in the chat box that you understood. Write why, so that I will come to note that you have understood this process. And if you haven't understood, write N. Do it fast. Still, if any student is having any query, any question, you can ask me. Have you understood? Only 4-5 students are giving the answer as a why. What about remaining student? Is there any question or is there any query? You can ask me. Or the process which you haven't understood, that also you can ask me. Is there any query, any question? Okay. So here I will show that TS diagram here. आता ह्या ठिकाणी जर दोन कॉम्प्रेसर यूज करायच्या ऐवजी जर फक्त एकच कॉम्प्रेसर यूज केला असता, जर दोन कॉम्प्रेसर यूज करायच्या ऐवजी जर फक्त एकच कॉम्प्रेसर यूज केला असतं तर काय झालं असतं, त्या ठिकाणी मला काय करावं लागलं असतं, रॅम प्रेशरचं कन्वर्जन डायरेक्टली डिलिव्हरी प्रेशर 2 मध्ये करावं लागलं असतं. म्हणजे ह्या ठिकाणी जी लाईन होती 2 to 3 ती डायरेक्टली अशी आली असती इथपर्यंत, म्हणजे ऍक्च्युअल प्रोसेस आली असती ती अशा टाइप मध्ये आली असती. बरोबर. म्हणजे हा एवढा जो पोर्शन आहे, हा एवढा जो पोर्शन आहे तो काय आहे, सेव्हिंग ऑफ वर्क आहे. दिस मच पोर्शन इज कॉल्ड एज अ सेव्हिंग ऑफ वर्क बिकॉज ऑफ युजिंग yes or no. So this is called as a bootstrap air cooling system. Wait for 1 minute only. So I will show the TS diagram for the same. I will show the TS diagram. So this will be the TS diagram. So see the TS diagram also. So this is the tier diagram for bootstrap air cooling system. So 1 to 2 process. 1 to 2 process here. 1 to 2 process is ideal ramming process. 1 to 2 dash. This is actual ramming process. Here you can observe that T2 is equal to T2 dash. T2 is equal to T2 dash. Then 2 to 3 process or 2 dash to 3 process is nothing but the compression inside the first compressor or inside the main compressor. Here pressure will increase from actual ram pressure to the PD1. But because of irreversibility, 2 dash to 3 dash, 2 dash to here 2 dash to 3 dash is nothing but the actual compression process inside the main compressor. Then 3 dash to 4, 3 dash to 4 is nothing but constant pressure heat rejection inside the first heat exchanger. Then 4 to 5, 4 to 5 is nothing but isentropic compression inside the secondary compressor, or 4 to 5 dash is nothing but actual compression inside the secondary compressor. Then outlet of secondary compressor will be supplied to the second heat exchanger where constant pressure heat rejection process will take place. So 5 dash to 6 is nothing but constant pressure heat rejection inside the second heat exchanger. Then 6 to 7, this is nothing but this expansion inside the cooling turbine where pressure will decrease from delivery pressure to the cabin pressure. So 6 to 7, and 6 to 7 dash is nothing but actual expansion inside the cooling turbine. And 7 to 8, 7 to 8 is nothing but the constant pressure heat absorption inside the aeroplane cabin. So this is nothing but the TS diagram. This is nothing but the tier diagram for bootstrap air cooling system. So we have seen the tier diagram. Now next next diagram or next system is called as the bootstrap air evaporative cooling system. So as like simple air cooling system and simple air evaporative cooling system, दोन्ही मध्ये फरक काय होता? फक्त एक इव्हापोरेटर ऍड केला होता. कुठे इव्हापोरेटर ऍड केला होता? हीट एक्सचेंजर आणि cooling turbine या दोन्हीच्या मध्ये evaporator add केला होता. In the similar fashion, the bootstrap system will be again modified, called as a bootstrap air evaporative cooling system. So what exactly is done in that bootstrap air evaporative cooling system? Here there will be the addition of evaporator. There will be the addition of evaporator, and that addition of evaporator will be in between second heat exchanger and cooling turbine. In between second heat exchanger and cooling turbine. So if you are going to remove this evaporator, then after removal of evaporator, your system will be same as that of bootstrap air cooling system. And if you are going to add evaporator in between second heat exchanger and cooling turbine, so that system will become as a bootstrap air evaporative cooling system. Are you getting? So here inside the evaporator, what will be there inside the evaporator? So inside the evaporator there will be the water, ammonia or alcohol, which is having the lower boiling point temperature at the higher altitude. So here inside the evaporator again we are going to reject the heat at a constant pressure. So that will be the main purpose. So त्या ठिकाणी जर हा evaporator रिमूव्ह केला तर तुमची सिस्टीम काय होणार आहे? bootstrap air cooling system होणार आहे. आणि जर evaporator ऍड केला तर तो काय होणार आहे? तुमची bootstrap air evaporative cooling system होणार आहे. Are you getting? So here how this bootstrap air evaporative cooling system will work? So first of all, similar to the previous system, here ambient air will be taken inside of the aeroplane, that because of ramming effect. So 1 to 2 process will be the ramming process, where pressure will increase from ambient pressure to the ram pressure, and temperature will increase from T1 to T2. Temperature will increase from T1 to T2. Now 2 to 3 process will take place inside the main compressor. 2 to 3 process will take place inside the main compressor. That means part of ram air will be taken during the suction stroke of the compressor, and that will be compressed inside the main compressor. So here pressure will increase from PR to PD1. That means ram pressure to delivery pressure 1. That pressure will increase from ram pressure to delivery pressure 1. Now part of compressed air will be supplied to the combustion chamber to run the gas turbine, and in turn to run the main compressor. Whatever remaining portion of the compressed air will be there, which is having the pressure as a delivery pressure 1 and temperature as a T3, that will be supplied to the first heat exchanger. That will be supplied through the first heat exchanger, and here as a cooling medium we are using the part of ram air. So inside the first heat exchanger, what will happen? Constant pressure heat rejection process will take place. आपली bootstrap system जशी आहे सेम त्या ठिकाणी काय होणार आहे? Constant pressure heat rejection process, constant pressure heat rejection will take place during 3 to 4 process. Constant pressure heat rejection. So here at the outlet of first heat exchanger, we will have the pressure same, that is nothing but PD1, and temperature will be T4. That means temperature of the air will goes on increasing from T3 to T4. Now, whatever outlet of first heat exchanger will be there, that outlet of first heat exchanger will be supplied to the secondary compressor. So what will happen inside the secondary compressor? So process 4 to 5 will take place inside the secondary compressor, and here pressure will increase from PD1 to PD2. Pressure will increase from PD1 to PD2, and temperature of the air at the same time, temperature of the air will also increase from T4 to T5. So at the outlet of secondary compressor, we will have the pressure as a PD2, temperature as a T5. So that compressed air will be again supplied to the or through the secondary heat exchanger. So inside the secondary heat exchanger also, constant pressure heat rejection process will take place. Constant pressure heat rejection process will take place. Here also, as a cooling medium, we are using the ram air. As a cooling medium, we are using the ram air. So here at the outlet of secondary heat exchanger or second heat exchanger, will have the same pressure, because constant pressure heat rejection process is taking place during the process 5 to 6. So here pressure will be same, that is nothing but PD2. Temperature will goes on decreasing from T5 to T6. From T5 to T6. इथपर्यंत सेम असणार आहे. तुमची जी काय बुटस्ट्रॅप सिस्टीम होती आणि बुटस्ट्रॅप एअर कूलिंग सिस्टीम असणार आहे, दोन्हीमध्ये अप टू पॉइंट नंबर 6, from point 1 to point 6, that will be again same. Now there will be only change during the process 6 to 7. आता ह्या ठिकाणी बुटस्ट्रॅप एअर कूलिंग सिस्टीम मध्ये आपण काय करत होतो? डायरेक्टली आउटलेट ऑफ सेकंड हीट एक्सचेंजर जे होतं ते आपण कुठे देत होतो? We are supplying that outlet of second heat exchanger to the cooling turbine. But here, instead of supplying directly that outlet of second heat exchanger to the cooling turbine, what we are going to do? We are supplying that outlet of second heat exchanger to the evaporator, and inside of the evaporator we will have the either water or alcohol or ammonia, any one of these. So here whatever cooling coil or whatever coil will be there, so surrounding to that coil there will be the cooling medium, and as a cooling medium here we are providing either water, H2O, alcohol or ammonia. So if I am considering water, so at 20 kilometers from Earth's surface, the water boiling point temperature will be 40 degrees centigrade. So here what will happen? This compressed air will again reject the heat. This compressed air will again reject the heat at a constant pressure inside the evaporator, and because of the same, here outlet of the evaporator will be the water vapor. So here whatever 6 to 7 process will be there, which is occurring inside the evaporator, that will be again constant pressure heat rejection process. That will be again constant pressure heat rejection process. So here as constant pressure, that's why at the outlet of evaporator pressure will be again same, that is nothing but PD2. Temperature will decrease from T6 to T7. Temperature will decrease from T6 to T7 because here heat is being rejected. So here outlet of evaporator will be PD2 and temperature T7. Now that outlet of evaporator will be supplied to the cooling turbine. Outlet of evaporator will be supplied to the cooling turbine, where pressure of the air will again reduce or will be reduced from delivery pressure to the cabin pressure. And because of this expansion process, at the time of decreasing the pressure, the temperature of the air will also go on decreasing from T7 to T8. So here at the outlet of cooling turbine, we will have the point number 8. So 7 to 8 process will take place inside of the cooling turbine, and that process will be the isentropic expansion process inside of the cooling turbine ideally, and actually that will be the polytropic expansion inside of the cooling turbine. So whatever outlet of cooling turbine will be there, that will be supplied to the aeroplane cabin, where that air will be able to absorb the heat, which is being generated inside of the aeroplane cabin. And here whatever work produced from that cooling turbine will be there, that will be again utilized to run the secondary compressor. So this will be called as a bootstrap air evaporative cooling system. So here this system will be similar to that of bootstrap air cooling system, only there will be the addition of this evaporator only. Are you getting? So here if I will see the TS diagram will be similar to that of bootstrap air cooling system, only there will be the addition of this much portion, 6 to 7. Now I will explain. Here one point is on ambient pressure. So 1 to 2 process, that will be the ideal ramming process. So here that pressure will increase from ambient pressure to the ideal ram pressure, but because of irreversibility, here pressure will be actual ram pressure. So here this is the actual ram pressure. So actual ramming process will be shown by 1 to 2 dash. Here T2 is equal to T2 dash. T2 is equal to T2 dash. Then 2 to 3 process, or 2 dash to 3 process will take place inside the main compressor, where pressure will increase from actual ram to the delivery pressure of main compressor. So this will be the ideal process, isentropic compression. But actually, because of irreversibility, this process will be 2 dash to 3 dash process. 2 dash to 3 dash process. So that will take place inside of the main compressor. Outlet of main compressor will be supplied to the first heat exchanger. There, constant pressure heat rejection process will take place, and heat will be rejected to the ram air. So this will be the 3 dash to 4 process. Again 4 to 5 process will take place inside of the secondary compressor, where pressure will increase from delivery pressure 1 to the delivery pressure 2. So 4 to 5 process is nothing but compression inside the secondary compressor. Pressure is increasing from PD1 to PD2, and here this will be the ideal compression process or isentropic compression process, but actually that process will be likewise 4 dash to 5 dash. Outlet of secondary compressor will be supplied to the second heat exchanger, and inside of the second heat exchanger, here heat rejection process will take place up to point number 6. Point number 6 पर्यंत काय होणार आहे, heat rejection होणार आहे second heat exchanger मध्ये. आपली जी काय bootstrap air cooling system होती, point number 6 पर्यंत काय होती, सेम होती. point number 6 पर्यंत ती सिस्टीम सेम होती, पण ह्या ठिकाणी 6 to 7 जे असणार आहे, आपण काय केलेलं आहे, आउटलेट ऑफ सेकंड हीट एक्सचेंजर इज सप्लाय टू दी इव्हापरेटर, आणि इव्हापरेटर मध्ये परत अजून काय होणार आहे, कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर हीट रिजेक्शन होणार आहे. सेमच प्रेशर राहणार आहे, PD2 प्रेशर राहणार आहे, आणि अजून काय होणार आहे, हीट रिजेक्ट होणार आहे. सो दिस इज नथिंग बट दी कॉन्स्टंट प्रेशर हीट रिजेक्शन inside the evaporator. So here 6 to 7 process is occurring inside of the evaporator. फक्त एवढा चेंज असणार आहे. Now outlet of evaporator will be supplied to the cooling turbine, where pressure will decrease from delivery pressure to the cabin pressure. Cabin pressure pressure काय होणार आहे, decrease होणार आहे. So this will be the isentropic expansion process, but ideally this is ideal process, but actually that process will be the polytropic expansion. So up to point number 8 dash. This process will be there. And 8 to 9 process will occur. 8 to 9 process will occur inside of the aeroplane cabin. So here constant pressure heat absorption process will take place inside of the aeroplane cabin. So this is nothing but the line diagram of bootstrap air cooling system and bootstrap air evaporative cooling system, line diagram as well as TS diagram. So have you understood this bootstrap air evaporative cooling system? Is there any question or is there any query related to this bootstrap air evaporative cooling system? So if you are having any question or any query, you can ask me. Have you understood this system? Yes or no? Write in the chat box. What about remaining student? Only one student has written yes. What about remaining? So if you haven't understood, whatever queries or whatever questions are there, you can ask me. So this is called as a bootstrap air evaporative cooling system. Now only last two systems are remain. So now next system will be called as a reduced ambient air cooling system, and last system will be called as a regenerative air cooling system. So whatever reduced ambient air cooling system will be there. What is time? Time is 2:06. Okay. So we have to stop our lecture here because your next lecture will be at 10:15, 2:15. So it will not be possible to cover the line diagram as well as TS diagram of this reduced ambient air cooling system within 5 minutes. Because you are knowing that how much time is required to explain the line diagram as well as drawing of the TS diagram. So whatever this last two systems will be there, that will be that is nothing but reduced ambient air cooling and regenerative air cooling system. We will take those two systems during next lecture. So now I will take the attendance. Today's date 22nd October. Okay. So I will call the roll number. You have to give the attendance. Roll number 1.
Present, sir.
2.
Yes, sir.
3. 3 absent. 4. Okay. Before taking the attendance, one more important announcement. So related to the vaccination, COVID-19 vaccination, our college is going to arrange one drive, COVID-19 vaccination drive. So the student, those who want to take the dose, that is vaccine, so you can enroll your name to me. ज्यांनी कोविडचा डोस घेतलेला नाही, म्हणजे ज्यांनी पहिला डोस घेतलेला आहे किंवा अजून एकही डोस घेतलेला नाही, ज्यांनी पहिला डोस घेतलेला आणि त्यानंतर त्यांचे दिवस कंप्लीट झालेले आहेत, म्हणजे 78 दिवस कोविशिल्डचा डोस घेतलेला आहे. कारण की आपल्या इथं कोविशिल्डची आपण ड्राईव्ह अरेंज करतोय. ज्यांनी पहिला कोविशिल्ड ज्या स्टुडंटनी पहिला डोस ऍज अ कोविशिल्ड घेतलेला आहे आणि त्यांचं जे काय 78 डेजचा जो काय टाइम आहे, ज्यांनी कंप्लीट केलेला आहे, म्हणजे जे सेकंड डोस साठी इलिजिबल आहेत आणि ज्यांनी कोणताच डोस घेतलेला नाही, पहिला पण घेतलेला नाही आणि दुसरा पण घेतलेला नाही आणि त्यांना डोस घ्यायचा आहे, अशा मुलांनी माझ्याकडे नावं रजिस्टर करायचे किंवा नावं द्यायचे, जेणेकरून मला ते नाव फॉरवर्ड करता येतील आणि तुम्ही त्या डोस साठी इलिजिबल असाल. सो इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड टू टेक द either first dose or second dose, that will be the Covishield dose today evening, because I have to forward those names to the NSS coordinator so that he will arrange that camp, COVID-19 vaccination camp. Are you getting? So if you are interested, you have to give the name to me, and you have to come to the college and you have to take that dose also. So I will tell the once that will be scheduled, I will tell the date of that dose also, so that you can come and take the dose. So give the attendance. Roll number 3 absent. Roll number 4. Roll number 4 absent. Are you?
Yes, sir.
6. 6 absent. 7 absent. Roll number 8.
Yes, sir.
9. 9 absent. 10 absent. 11 absent. 12.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 11.
11 present. Okay. Roll number 12.
Yes, sir.
13. Roll number
Yes,
12.
sir.
Who is 12? Roll number 12. Roll number 12 absent. 13.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 12 present, 13 present. 14. 14 absent. 15.
Present, sir.
16. Roll number 16 absent. 17 absent. 18 absent. 19 absent. 20 absent. 21 absent. 22 absent. 23 absent. 24 23 present. Okay. 24 24 23 present. 24 absent. 25
Present,
absent.
sir.
किती
25 present.
25
Yes, sir.
present. Okay. 26 absent. 27 absent. 28 absent. 29 absent. 30 absent. 31 absent. 32 absent. 33 33